Today I'm going to tell you the story of how I ended up living here in the forest. This is Hekate's Torch, your guide back to your own inner light, and I'm Taya. For a long time, I have dreamed of living in the forest. I have always loved the forest. And so I have a couple chicken scratch notes here, little few points I want to touch on today of how I manifested living in my dream area. So first of all, some background information is that I have always, like I said, loved the forest, but specifically pine trees and redwoods. I don't know why, just something about them. I've always loved them, and I've always loved the lakes and the rivers over the ocean. And oh yeah, another one is that I refused to drink anything but spring water for the longest time. Okay, so there's a couple things in there that are going to be important to how we ended up here. So I did not use any practices, any techniques to end up here. I actually did not understand just how powerful and deep manifestation was until after already living here. And so that is why that I say that me manifesting living here is like I did nothing but use divine faith. Because the whole trip here, we ended up here by moving out of my parents' house and into our vintage Can-Am camper with me, my husband, and my two kids. And we set out to find a new place to live. There was no plan. We didn't know where we were gonna end up. And it was a crazy ride. All of that to say that the whole time I was just having divine faith in that we were going to end up wherever we were meant to be. I didn't know where it was. I was not manifesting anything. I was not hoping for anything other than maybe living in a forest because I've always loved the forest and dreamed of living there. But there was no plan, right? We were actually thinking something of living in Idaho or Montana, and we ended up still being in California. It was a very much so unconscious manifestation. And I think what's inspiring about this story is one, that your dreams can come true even if you're not consciously manifesting it. And that two, even if the road there looks rough and it's stressful, it doesn't mean that you're not on the right track. Isn't that fun? Because the road here, the literal road, the road trip here was stressful and crazy and hectic, but we still ended up here. So let's talk about a little bit about how this place became our home. When we were on the road, we were starting to feel like we wanted to put roots down. We were tired of traveling in the camper. It was hard with two kids in such a tiny space, always cooking from scratch, packing up the camper, unpacking the camper every 3 days or so. It was a lot. We were ready to find home. And so me and my husband just had like a heart to heart moment where we were like, it's time to find our place. And we don't, so we're just gonna, our plan was to just go straight up into Oregon from the site that we were at. And I think that was gonna be about a 4 hour drive. But we ended up stopping here in our mountain town. And it was right after that spot where we said that we were both ready to find home. And we landed here and we fell in love. And it just felt like home. Literally, we didn't even get into our campsite yet. We were on the freeway on the way to our site and we were in love. It just felt like home. So that's one of the things that can kind of guide you in your journey is that inner knowing. It just, you have it for a reason. You have that feeling for a reason. So anyway, um, we're tired. We want home. And we get to our campsite, and that night, literally that night, we started looking at places. I think we were bouncing around to different campsites for 3 weeks in this area, and we were kind of starting to run out of campsites to stay at because, at least in California, you can max out a site. You're not able to stay at a site for I think more than 2 weeks a year. Don't quote me on that. It's something like that. Um, and we were running out of places to stay, especially the cheaper ones, because we were on a budget. We were running out of money and we were stressed. So there was stress there. There was an urgency. And there, I want to say that there certainly wasn't detachment, but here we are. They say that you have to detach for things to come to fruition. Um, and I think to a degree, you could say there was some detachment or trust, a little bit of surrender, but there was still anxiety involved. One night, I am over it. And I'm just like, I know that something here can shift so that we can land here and call this place home. And what I did was just this on the spot meditation where I connected with the local mountain. And I told the mountain that I wanted to call this place home, that I was ready to live here. And I like opened my arms up, and me and the mountain like hugged each other, right? And I was not forcing anything. This was just went into the meditation with an intention, and then the visuals came during it. And it was like the mountain opened her arms to me and like just let me in. And I kid you not, I think less than a week later we found this place. We toured it, we saw it on a Monday, and then the property manager had us in by Thursday, just like that, super fast. And I did not know that I was manifesting, because what I was doing in that meditation was I was accepting the feeling, creating and imagining the feeling of what it would be like to call this place home, feeling that in my heart. And then I aligned with that energy, that state of being. So that is how I ended up living in the forest. And the really funny thing is, like I mentioned about the background info, is that this place is like kind of just perfect, like just perfectly aligned to everything that my heart desired. We have rivers all around, there's lakes. Like we just drive 15 minutes down the road and we're at the most beautiful, gorgeous lake. Actually, it is, at least right in this moment. I keep trying to change my cover photo and it's not letting me. Maybe this is why. But it's my cover photo. That's of the mountain and the lake. And it's just 15 minutes away from our house. So many swimming holes. And it's so surreal every single day that this place is our home. I mean, like, it's insane. And the other funny thing about the background information is that like I said, refused to drink anything other than spring water before living here. I did not drink tap water. I always bought the bottles, which, as a earth-minded person, feels a little counterintuitive because, hello, plastic bottles, right? But I was not drinking spring water. And we end up moving here and we find out that it's spring water on tap. I take a shower in spring water. I poop. I poop into spring water. My clothes are washed with spring water. The kids play in the hose and they're playing in spring water. Isn't that amazing? It's just the way that, like, when we align ourselves with what feels true to us, that just keeps coming in. Isn't it so magical? It's so magical. I feel the magic. I think it's crazy that that I live here, and it literally took months to accept it as feeling real. Um, like I would like look out at the ridge. You can't see it very well right now. In the winter, you can kind of see it better because it's a clear view. But it took me months to look at it and really realize what I was looking at. So that is the story of how we ended up here. I share this story with you because just to, first of all, share some inspiration that like your dreams can come true. They're not dreams and always going to stay dreams. But also, in case you are dealing with any doubts or frustrations or stress, to know that it's not necessarily going to be a deterrent to what is aligned with you. We dealt with so much stress and so much pressure and anxiety moving into this place and finding this place, and we still got here. Another factor, actually, I did want to share one more thing is that finding a job here is not easy. It's the middle of the woods, and the economy isn't always the best. The work situations are not always the best, but what you can do in instances like that is basically what I did with the meditation, the breath work that I shared. I will link that down in the description so you guys can use it. It's called Manifest Anything. It's guided breathwork meditation. I use it for anything and everything. It's amazing. And I did that breath work. Me and my husband did it together to manifest a job for him. And I kid you not, guys. That night, the same night I did that meditation, we did that meditation breath work that night. Right after it, I was like, wait, what about that one job sales job that one of his previous sales connections mentioned before. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to see if there's anything in that area." Did it just that moment and saw where to apply. He applied to it, and then the next day he heard back, and then within a week he had a job that allowed us to live here, to cover rent. It's also his dream job, dream location. So your dreams can come true. It is all possible. And we don't need to worry about the how. All we need to do is align with what it would feel like, allow ourselves to imagine that, and then the magic happens. So I hope this story inspired you. I hope that it maybe lights a fire and makes you feel and realize that your dreams can come true too. That's all I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and show it some love. If there was something that stuck with you, I would love to hear about it. Anything that inspired you, motivated you, please go ahead and share it with me in the comments. I love to hear just anything that sticks with you. And oh, of course, don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to hear more of these stories in the future, because I do have some more manifestation stories coming up soon. All right, I'll see you guys next time.